Okay. We'll take
So I can't
improving.
complain. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think complaining is really therapeutic, so I'm here for it, Vicky. I mean, really. All right, great. Okay, Debbie, good to see you. Susanna. Hey, Lisa. Really
Hi.
nice to see you all. Welcome. How are you feeling today, Lisa?
Good. I'm just getting over the flu, so I'm
No, the
yeah.
flu.
Yeah, I had a really bad bout of the flu, so that's why I haven't been in
Mm.
class.
So go slow, slow,
Yeah.
slow, right? Oh my gosh. It's like, the little images of the creatures coming up out of the murk as life evolves on the planet. I feel like
Yeah,
that's the feeling coming out of the flu,
it
right? You have
really
to
is.
you have to go through evolution again to get into your own body.
It's true.
Ah, wow. Well, take it easy, right?
Yeah, I
Okay.
will.
All
Mm.
right. So I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody. Please unmute whenever you need to. And we'll go ahead and start lying down on our back. Good. Okay. So we're lying. Yeah, lovely. Good. See, look at this. One block under each foot, a strap to hand. Yes, we're lying down. Now, the block, of course, is more than just a little, you know, plinth for the sculpture of your foot. It's a way to create a slightly different angle at your thigh and therefore your back. So when you're lying down, now add in any height if you haven't already under your head and neck. Yeah, so you're really comfortable. Your neck feels neutral. Oh, isn't that nice? Although I will say it's a little cool down here. Do you guys want a little more heat? Are you okay? Okay. Why don't we close the door? That'll help, right? Okay. It's totally, yeah. We need a fan, right? We need a floor fan or a ceiling fan to blow it back down. Now, I know heated floor, right? Those of you online who have a heated floor, I wish we had one here. All right, now bring your arms down by the sides of your body. Take a moment to settle your back. So I like to use the blocks under my feet in such a way that the very back edge of my heel is slightly tilted over the edge of the block that's closest to my tailbone. Right. So your feet are not completely flat on top of the block, but a little bit edged over, like an icicle dropping over the edge. There we go. So now we'll go into a gentle cat cow on your back. The cat cow you do here may not really be visible, obviously visible from someone outside of your own body. But the goal here is to simply breathe in and let your body rest where it does. There may be some space under your lumbar spine. Then, as you exhale, press down with all of your might into the space under your low back. For me, it feels slightly uncomfortable, honestly, because I'm lengthening muscles that have been a little bit tight and a little bit cramped up. So, you might need to decrease the range of motion so that you're not pushing so much into a feeling of, this is supposed to be like, not, okay. So, kind of is okay, right? So exhale as you press your low back down. Inhale as you let it soften back up under a sort of natural gravitational pull. Then exhale to press your low back down. And then inhale, release, rebound. Let's do three more at your own pace. Exaggerating the breathing if that serves you or not. You don't need to. And then relax, rebound, let go of any muscle action and grab your strap and feed just the tail of your strap. You don't need a loop or anything, just the straight strap. And feed that. You can even lift your hips up if that's easier for you. Just place that strap underneath the back of the curviest part of your low back. And once you have the strap running from right to left beneath you, guess who didn't silence her own phone? 40 lashes with a wet noodle for me. All right. Um, Once you have the strap running from left to right, you might floss your low back a little bit, which means you pull from right to left your strap and see, oh, yeah, there's quite a bit of space underneath there. So you can kind of explore, maybe even shimmy the strap up towards your shoulder blades and feel, wow, is there space under there too? up under my low ribs? What about if I go down towards my tailbone? Oh, I get stuck. Does anybody notice that? So now place your strap in the middle of the arching part of your back so that it's the place where it's really easy for you to move your strap from right to left. Then rest it there. And now press down into your strap. Keep that downward pressure and wrap the strap around the top of your belly. So now you cross the strap over the front of your abdomen. It might be around your belly button, maybe a little higher, maybe a little lower, but you're meanwhile keeping your low back flat. Now, I like to crisscross my strap, place one end over the other, and pull it from right to left to cinch it up and squeeze gently around the 360-degree circumference of what is roughly my waist. And then as you inhale, stretch out the strap by breathing into it. And as you exhale, flatten, squeeze, and contract. Flatten your back. So now as you inhale and exhale again, like we were doing before, now we're adding in the component of breathing, to expand your lungs, your belly, your diaphragm, or it's really contracting your diaphragm, but don't worry about that. Inhaling and exhaling, rounding your back, flattening it into the mat as you pull your strap and try to collect all of your abdominal muscles all the way around your back and squeeze them in before you inhale and release everything. And then exhale, squeeze it out like you're squeezing out a sponge and there's no water left in the sponge at all. It's dry as can be. Then inhale, get it all full of water. Inhale. And exhale, sploosh it out. Two more like this. Inhale, expand. Exhale, squeeze it out. One more time. Inhale. And exhale, squeeze it out. Now release your strap, open it up from right to left. So it's still underneath you, but it's no longer crossed over the top of your body. And just take a moment to notice sensation. If you're not dealing with any kind of dizziness, you might turn your chin from side to side. For some, that's a nice way to release some tension in your neck. And if you are in a situation where turning your head isn't so great, you might slide just one or two hands behind your neck and give your neck a little massage here. Yeah, so you give yourself a chance to address any tension that that breath work may have brought into your neck area. All right, now the tricky bit here is that by pushing into the blocks, you can a little bit lift your rib cage and shimmy the strap up, 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 and even press down with your head to lift your shoulder blades up a little bit so you can shimmy the strap way up under your shoulder blades. In other words, what we want is for your strap to be basically up near, I lied. Sorry. Shimmy back down. We're looking for this place right below your chest. So middle ribs, not shoulder blades. My apologies. I was jumping ahead in time. So when you pull your strap from side to side here, it might not move because it's underneath the middle of your rib cage. Yeah. And if it does move, that's okay. But we're looking for the strap when you wrap it up around the front of your body, you can cross the strap just at the place where your ribs open up, where you have that curvy, that curtaining shape of your rib cage. Your breastbone, your sternum is right at the apex of that rib shape, that rib hammock or curtaining thing. It's underneath, it's at your bra strap or where maybe you put your heart monitor. Now, here in this position, gently pull your strap, unless you prefer not to. It's okay to just relax here and breathe into your ribs, spread them widely, and then exhale. Pull your strap, cinch your ribs, and press your low back flat. Inhale, stretch, widen your strap. And exhale, squeeze your ribs, squeeze your strap, press your low back flat. Three more like that. Big inhale into your rib cage. Can anybody feel the strap spreading under the effort of your inhalation? Hey, Matt, welcome. Heroic. Yogis arriving. Exhale, squeeze, flatten. Breathe into your rib cage. Expand widely. Exhale, squeeze, flatten. Yes. And now one more time. Really expand your ribs as widely as you can. And then really squeeze your lumbar spine flat, cinch your ribs together. And then relax and release all the muscle action around your neck, your jaw, your shoulders. And again, if you wish, turn your head side to side or maybe give your neck a little massage with your warm paws. Ah, all right. Now, this is the one I jumped ahead to before, which is where I like to push down into the back of my head to lift my shoulders and my ribs a little bit so I can shimmy the strap right up to the place where it's at my armpits. So now your strap is behind your shoulder blades and it's right up underneath your upper arms. Now you can, if you wish, of course, you can modify it. Anything we do in this class is modifiable, and please do feel free to do so. But otherwise, if you want to play along, you can cross this strap right under your collarbone above your chest, and then anchor your elbows down as you pull your strap lightly from right to left to cinch up and feel what is it like when you kind of create this almost a tourniquet, not that tight, but a feeling of hugging the space just below your collarbone and just above your chest. And now breathe into this area. And as you exhale, press your low back flat. Ah, cinch in, squeeze in, press your low back flat. We'll do 4 of these. Inhale, fill up. Try to stretch the strap in all dimensions before you exhale, squeeze, cinch, flatten. Yes. I think we have 3 more. Go at your own pace. You choose the number you want to do. Once you've done the number that works for you, release your strap. Just let it rest below you. Reach your arms to a comfortable place on your floor beside you and allow your body to melt into the mat. Ah, like a pat of butter sitting on hot toast. Let yourself soak into the surfaces below you. Option here, of course, to massage your neck or turn your chin slowly from side to side. Okay, really good. Now, remove your strap. You can keep it there if you like, but we don't really need it for now. Having done this sort of guided breath work, we'll move on to some more engaged action. For bridge pose, I don't like that much height under my head. You've heard me say that a gazillion times, so I'll lower the height under my head or even remove it entirely. Take your time to check what that looks like for you, and always you have the option to modify it during the middle. Just rest down and change the height under your head as appropriate. Now, I like to scooch down towards my block, so I can't, honestly, my arms are short. I can't really touch my heels unless I lean really far to the right. Then I can graze my heel with my middle finger on the right, or lean to the left. Now I can graze my heel. So your feet are not so far away that you can't touch them, but you have to make a little effort to do so. Then meet me back here with your feet on your blocks and still a little bit of your heel falling over the front edge of your block closest to your hips. Now, grab your mat with your hands or press down into your mat with flat palms, elbows, and shoulders. If you grab, you might pull from right to left and tuck your shoulders in towards your spine and a little deeper under your rib cage to broaden your chest. Notice if you're clenching your jaw or if your chin is lifted. Slightly tuck your chin. Now press down into your blocks and press your low back flat. Squeeze your buttock muscles and stay here. Now you can stay right here, lightly pushing your blocks away from your head towards the foot of your mat. Your toes might lift up a little bit. The action is to dig your blocks down into the mat and a little bit forward down to the foot of your mat, and then relax and come back. Inhale here. Exhale, dig your heels down into the block. Imagine you're going to push the blocks away from your head and press your low back flat. Can anybody feel your low back flattening here? Okay, great. Inhale, relax. Exhale, dig and press. Ah, notice if your neck is tensing, your jaw is tensing. Try to soften your brain. Inhale back to center. Exhale, push your blocks forward. Dig them into the mat. And if they slide, that's okay. Just pull them back with your feet and rest. All right, now, similarly, but not pushing your blocks away, flatten your back. Press through your heels, but not forward, just gently down, and slowly peel your hips up any amount. Because of the added height under your heels, you might find it kind of helpful to lean left and tuck your right shoulder blade further away from your head and underneath you, and then lean right and lift and tuck your left shoulder blade further. You can do that a couple of times where when you're what you're doing is contracting the muscles between your shoulder blades, your rhomboids and your trapezius there, and then you're pulling your shoulder blades deeper underneath you to round your chest. Notice if you can soften your throat and release your chin so it's not jamming into your collarbone. Breathe as you squeeze your buttocks muscles up and lift your hips up a little higher. Big inhale and exhale, float down vertebra by vertebra and purposefully slide your shoulder blades right and left away from each other. There might be a feeling of rounding your shoulders up a little bit towards the sky, and that's okay as you slowly smooth your whole back down onto the mat. Keep your back flat and then tuck your knees into your chest and make a slow circle on the ceiling with your knees. Yeah, really focus in this circle, not so much on the movement of your legs as in the rounding of your back into the mat. And your knees can be any distance apart that you choose. Take a big breath in wherever you were, and exhale, go the other way. Ah, round you go. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right. And then once again, feet flat onto your blocks. Now, you have the option if you wish to kick your left leg up and pling your left foot above your hip for a ekapada or one-legged bridge pose. You might be like, what? I don't know about this. You can always put your left foot back down. Now, again, grab your mat beside your outer edges of your feet or hips or push down. Press your low back flat, squeeze your shoulder blades together and down underneath you and lift your hips up any amount, stomping the sole of your left foot up into the ceiling above you. And slowly lower back down, vertebra by vertebra. Inhale when you're down. Exhale as you lift. Now, for some, it'll feel better to place your left ankle on top of your right thigh in a figure four position. It's still an ekapada, but it's not asking you to already lengthen your hamstrings this morning, which may be a bit exigent right out of the box. Let's do two more lifts up in your bridge. You can always go back to the 2 feet down. It's not like that one was so easy anyway. And one more time. Feel the squeeze of your right glute, the lift of your hips, the strength in your right leg, and then bring your knees into your chest. And this time, just rock side to side. Nicely done. Okay, now just to release hamstrings, rake the back of your right thigh with your fingertips or your fingernails or even your fists. Create a little warmth and friction on the back of your right thigh, sliding up and down the length of your hamstring muscle, and circle your right ankle here. If it works for you to interlace your hands and press them into the middle of your hamstring, in the middle of between your knee and your butt, then kick your right leg long. Whoa, hamstring stretch. Then rebend your knee. And one more time, you have the option for straightening your leg any amount. Breathe into the stretch. And then we'll come back to our bridge pose again on the other side. All right, so your heels are slightly off the edge as before. You grip the mat in the way that works for you, remembering what you like here, or may change it up from side to side. Before we lift up anything, press your low back flat. And now kick your right heel up to the sky and see about lifting, lengthening all the way up and then all the way back down. Of course, that figure four is available for you where you might put your right ankle on your left thigh and lift up in that manner. Yeah, you don't have to float your right leg. Two more of these, slowly making a nice footprint on the ceiling with your right leg. Yeah, nicely done. Ah, exhale to go up. Inhale to come on down. Now, it was my left leg that was starting to feel a little crampish, so that's why now I rake my fingers along the back of my left leg behind, in between my knee and my buttock bone there, massaging out, making some little heat and friction there, little blood flow, and then interlace and press your interlaced palms deeply against that lumpy, bumpy muscle, and maybe straighten and bend your knee a few times. Point and flex your foot a few times. One more deep breath. Notice if you're grinding your molars and squinching up your facial muscles. Ah, relax your shoulders, relax your jaw. Yeah, nicely done. And then out you come. Okay, now this one is where you roll to the side, coming up to sit and take your blocks and press them together. So now you still have your two blocks. They're still flat, but now we have a sort of a flat rectangle to put your feet on. And the idea is that you can take the soles of your feet, press them together, and rest the outer edges of your feet on your blocks. So here we are. The distance you choose to sit your hips from your heels may be greater or lesser. So once you lie down, you might be like, ooh, that doesn't feel very good. Maybe you scooch in a little closer or you scooch a little further. But the idea is that you only let your knees drop to the angle that's comfortable for your hips. So sometimes one of your inner thigh, inner groin area will feel too stretched if you just let your legs fall all the way down under gravity's pull. So you might need to move your knees a little closer together. It means you're working the muscles in your inner thigh and inner groin, and that's not a problem. Okay. So take a moment to butterfly your knees up and down a little bit and choose the angle for your hip joints and your thigh bones that feels really not stressful. Yeah. Okay. Now, press the outer edges of your feet down into your blocks, and it's okay to slide your heel edge a little bit off the block towards your hips again, just like it was before, or to have your feet right flat on the top. So either one is fine. Grab your mat, press your palms, squeeze your belly in and down, flatten your back, and then any amount lift your hips in this Supta Baddha Konasana. So this is a bridge as you lift and lower any height. It might not be a very high lift today, and don't force it. You press your low back flat, you squeeze your buttock muscles, you tuck your tailbone to the sky, and float back down and unfurl your spine flat on the mat before you slowly lift again. Yeah, three or four more, unless it feels stressful to you. You can always put your knees straight back up to the sky. You don't need to have this angle if it's inappropriate for you. And once you've done your last one, bring your knees into your chest and rock side to side. Yeah, really good. Okay. Now, where I'd like to go from here is to take your blanket, bring it back under your head if you took it away, so that we can do a little thing called a penguin, which you've done before. Same idea of Baddha Konasana, which is that your soles of your feet together. But what we do is get rid of your blocks, bring your knees uh, right to left, and reach your hands inside of your shins and grab onto your ankles or your lower shin area with your two hands. So now you've got this bound angle pose, but you're supporting yourself by using your hands to grab onto your legs, not from the outside of your legs, but from the inside. Now press your heels together and do the same butterfly thing you did earlier with your knees, and so that you can choose the angle at which your hips and legs are comfortable, right? For some, your knees will be really far apart, and for others, they won't be that far apart. All good. Keep the pressure of your heels and press your low back flat. Now, notice if you're grinding your teeth here. Gently walk your shoulders away from your ears, which is not normal because of our arm position. And if you wish, you can lift your shoulders up off of the mat and gaze down inside of your feet. You might be like, no way, that hurts my neck. No problem. Keep your head back down, but keep your low back flat wherever you are. If when you lift your shoulders up, you feel engagement in your upper rectus abdominis, the abdominal muscles right under your chest, great. If you feel it 99% in your neck, put your head back down. Okay. Now you can stay here pressing heels together, lifting your shoulder blades up any amount. One more breath. And then let's all lower back down and put your head down, whether you had your shoulders lifted or not. Now, the next one is to interlace your hands behind your head. So you can always go back to the previous variation. My inner thigh and inner groin muscles are really tired right now. Anybody else's? Okay. Keep your low back flat, lift your shoulders, but gaze back at the wall behind you and drop your skull into your interlaced hands. And then bend to the right and keep gazing up and see if you can tap your right elbow towards your right knee. Then bend to the left, try to tap your left elbow with your left knee. I can't really reach elbow to knee very readily unless I move my heels apart. Oh, now I can. That's more fun. So pull your heels right to left away from each other if you wish, but drop your head into your hands and gaze at the ceiling. Really push up into your skull and the lower part, upper part of your neck with your palms and your thumbs to cue your neck that you can let it relax as you tilt your torso from side to side. It's a side body bend. Yeah, that's right. It's the same elbow tapping the same knee. Right elbow, right knee. That's it, Shelley. You got it. That's it, Kathleen. Exactly, Laura. Both Lauras. Yes, nice, Lynn. Tick-tocking your hips. There you go, Michael. Feeling contraction in the side of your waist. When you bend right, it's your right side waist contracting. When you bend left, it's your left side waist contracting. Yeah, maybe 6,000 more of these. Yeah, really nice. All right. And then when you're ready, relax, bring your knees into your chest, rock side to side. Take a break. Great. Fabulous. All right. Now, let's slowly, gradually roll to your side and come on up. We'll come on over into a slightly different position here. The idea is that you put a blanket down in case you need it under your knees. Whoops, I'm losing my script, which I'm ignoring, mostly ignoring anyway, so whatever, it's fine. Now, yeah, it's just inspiration, and then half the time I throw most of it out the window. Now, what I'm going to suggest, and there are lots of ways to modify this one, so many ways to modify this one. But what I like to do is to put a bolster or a couple blankets, something soft under my elbow. And in this position where I'm going is to place the outer edge. My left elbow is on the bolster, my left knee is down, my right foot is here, and I'm doing a grounded version of Vashisthasana. Now, if you're here and you think, oh, that is so not for me, I invite you to push your bolster away, take your left arm forward, and take a Vashisthasana like this. Where you've been here before, right? So this would be a Vashisthasana where you're engaging the side of your body that's to the sky. Arms are long, breathing, holding. That's your Vashisthasana. If you want to try the other one, you can put your hand down. You don't need your forearm. Knee, hand, and foot. If you look from right to left, your left hand, your left knee, your right foot are all in one line, like you're on a balance beam with Simone Biles. You open up your chest and you breathe and hold here. So this is a side plank with your left knee down, right? Again, you can do the one where you're lying on your side. You don't need your knee down. You can also lower down onto your forearm. That's just a slightly different angle. And it's honestly a little weird on your knee. Yeah, there you go. Whichever side you're on is good. There you go, Carol. Yeah, tuck your tailbone, look down the line of your body, see that you're all in one straight line, and then see if it's workable to lift and lower your right leg slowly. Any amount. You might even just barely lift your right leg up or your back leg. Yeah, whichever. Yeah, nicely done. Good. Couple more lifts and lowers. Next time you're lifted, bend your right knee, grab your foot, and open up the front of your thigh. If that bothers your knee, you can reach for your foot or not. Yes, simply bringing your left knee behind you and look down into your left shoulder, into the floor beside you. Big breath, and slowly come on down. Yeah, that's a lot. Slowly lower down. Yes, that's a really good point. So when it's hard to keep your back straight, what I like to do is suggest that instead of lifting your straight leg, the long leg, focus on squeezing your belly in and up. Keep that. And the lift is secondary. What we're really looking for, to Shelley's point, as we switch sides now, is to see if you can keep your tailbone tucking forward from the side instead of allowing the natural curve, which wants to really dominate here. This would be letting my natural curve dominate. This is me, tucking, then lifting and lengthening. You can lighten up on your hand. You can even do this without any weight on your bottom hand. For those of us for whom putting weight on your hand is a problem, you can even do this in a balancing mode here. Yeah, so it'll be a different felt sense, much, much different. Yeah, when you're lying on your side body doing the grounded one, which is great, you'll feel it entirely on the top side. When you're doing the version where you're up on your leg, you also feel it on the bottom side and on the hip of your lifted leg. So it's kind of splitting the difference here. So we want to feel it in your outer left hip, and it'll feel tired pretty quickly, most likely. But more important than the lift of your leg is the scoop of your tailbone forward and the pulling of your belly button in and back. If you wish to bend your knee, that's kind of a fetishy thing. You don't really need to, but it can be kind of nice to pull your left foot behind you and stretch out the front of your left hip. This is for anybody for whom that stretch feels good. You don't need to grab your foot. Oh, and then we'll slowly come on down. It's hard, right? It's not easy. The right hip when you're doing the lift. Yeah. Uh, yeah. So then I don't lift the leg. Then you don't lift the upper leg and you simply breathe and hold here and try to tuck your tailbone forward. Yeah. There you go. Keep your left foot grounded. Yes, better, Shelley. Yep. And out you come. Yeah, better. Does that feel any better? All right. So keep your left knee grounded. Yes. That all right, and come on down. Now, the wall is your friend here. You've done this one before, where we're on hands and knees. So you pad your knees, and you certainly can come onto your forearms. I've had a lot of, for myself, I often find that I do, here goes my script again. I often find that I don't particularly feel good on my hands. I tend to want to be on my forearms. You might find that's different for you here. I so admit we're doing all this stupid stuff on our knees. You can do a downward dog. Okay. All right. You do you, and we'll rejoin. Okay. So this variation is where you put your right foot on the wall. Here's me on my forearms. Why? The reason I'm on my forearms with my right foot pressing into the wall or a piece of furniture or a heavy dog is that I'm keeping my spine longer and flatter. I'm also digging down into the floor and pushing it forward in the direction of my fingers as I push the wall with my foot. The reason I'm on my forearms is that then it's easier for me to keep my belly button scooped in and up, and easier for me to keep some of the sway out of my low back. Right. But if it doesn't feel good on your forearms, come up to your hands. You don't need to be on your forearms. Check it out. See which one you prefer. Now look back at your back leg and turn your toes and knee points straight down. So there's no external rotation in your lifted leg. Now micro bend your elbows if your arms are straight. Spread your fingers, grip your sticky mat like you're lifting and pulling a basketball up off the floor, and drop your right hip to parallel with your left. Now lift the back of your head, release your jaw, and soften your eyeballs. Nice. Now, slowly spider rock your left fingertips forward in space, any amount, your opposite arm to the leg that's on the wall. And if you wish to lift your left arm up, do it as if you're shaking the hand of a tiny little person standing in front of you. So your arm reaches with your thumb to the ceiling and your pinky to the floor. Lengthen, reach, kick, breathe, and then switch sides. Bring your knees, squeeze your knees together, scoop your belly up, and now it's your left leg that goes in principle to hip height. But the priority isn't the height of your back foot, it's the parallel alignment of your hips, the pushing of your left foot into the floor, and the micro bending of your bottom shoulder, elbow. And notice if you're grinding your molars. Beautiful. Breathe in, get long. Yes, Shelley, good. Nice, a little tuck of your chin, Kathleen. Yep, that's it, Laura B. Good, beautiful. Yes, Laura W., lift your head for me any amount. Nice, that's it, Lynn. Rotate your toes a little more down, Lynn. Yes. There you go, Cecile. Nice, Michael. Yeah, Carol, exactly. Push the wall into Dunkin' Donuts. And down you come. All right, very good. Take a break. Very nice. All right, now this one, last one on our hands and knees. I lied. Nope. We're going to slowly come on up to stand, actually. Yeah. So what we need is a rolled up blanket. Right. So the reason we need a rolled up blanket is that we're making a prop to give you a slightly different way to stand on your feet. So what I would like to do, if possible, is find your blanket or something akin to the blanket you have at home and roll it tightly, relatively smoothly into a cylinder. And then place your cylinder. I'll place it sideways like this. So turn yourself to face the short edge of your mat facing the clock wall probably, and then have your bolster right in front of you like this. So my mat is sideways. That's why I'm doing that. Yeah, great. Okay. Now for Tadasana mountain pose, the first one we'll do is the easier one. It's the one we're more accustomed to. And I'm just going to turn this way for the moment, and then we'll go back the other way. The idea is to place your instep over your blanket and stand on it. And the idea is that you spread your metatarsals and your toes out evenly. You fan out your toes and array them, spreading widely, so that as you spread your toes and press not just your toes, but the metatarsal of your foot. So the ball of your foot is also on the sticky mat, not the blanket. So if this part of your foot is a little bit on the blanket, shift your foot forward enough so that you're really feeling the sticky mat under your tiptoe parts of your feet. Now, take your hands to your hips and slowly bend and straighten your knees any amount. So it doesn't need to be a big bend, and we certainly don't want to go into pain. Okay. Now, notice when you're doing this, if you're either really tucking a lot, bless you, or really tipping a lot. Bless you, can you slightly tuck your tailbone, not aggressively? This is me going too far. Can you scoop your tailbone back and tailbone forward and down? Pull your belly button in and up, and then lift up and drop your shoulders. Then, in that position, for those of you whose shoulders are comfortable, bring your arms any amount forward and up. You might stop here. You might stop here. You might stop here. You might even shrug your shoulders and reach your arms high. I've totally lost my head and arms on this computer, so I'll just do that. Yeah, breathe, hold here. Now, squeeze your belly in and up, and any amount, lift your heels off of the blanket, and then put them back down. And don't worry, they might not come off. That's okay. And breathing, so weight into the balls and toes of your feet, lift off your blanket, and lower back down. Isn't it nice when you lower back down? Two more times. Inhale, lift, 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 grow tall off your blanket and back down. And one more time. Big lift, 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 and all the way back down. Yeah, now straighten your knees completely without locking them or jamming them backwards. Reach your arms even higher and exhale. Your arms all the way down. Ah, so for some of us, that's just the range of motion you have in your joints, in your feet. For some of us, this kind of a really big thing doesn't happen because of the shape of the joints in your toes, right? That may not happen. Also, I have arthritis in my toes, so I can't lift as high as I used to. I just can't. There's, occlusion in my joints. So that's one reason. Good question. Let's see, besides that, balance, yeah, it might be balance, but it also can be simply that your joints, there's not space, right, for you to do that movement. But the effort of trying is what we're more interested in than the clearance of your heels. It could be that your Achilles is maxed out already, that you've already contracted it. And your tendon isn't going to change, but your calf muscles might be already as contracted as they're going to be, and there's no more room for further contraction. Another idea. Yes. Now we get to slowly bring your ball and toes of your feet up on the blanket one at a time and drop your heel down behind. I love this. 100%. Hugely, like crazy. Yes. Now, when you're here, check to see, can you orient all five of each of your toes of each of your feet straight forward so we're not turning out or turning in? And then walk your feet, step and gently release, step and release so you really feel comfortable. Your heel is on the mat and as much of your foot is on the blanket. If it feels too wobbly, pull back a little bit. Yes. If you feel like you're falling, then bring your heels back more so that less of your foot is on the blanket. Is that more manageable? And you might need a better blanket. I think my blanket's too slidey. Oh, too big. Yeah, yeah. A smaller blanket is also great. You do not need to roll it as high as it will go. Yeah. So here we are in this position. Now lift your toes. You might need to raise your eyebrows to lift your toes up, spread your toes, dig in with your heels. Then any amount bend and straighten your knees. I don't have much range of motion here. You might not have much range of motion to bend your knees. Feel it in your calves? Yes. Big calf stretch. Yes. Now see about trying to bend your knees without leaning forward. Yeah, we want to go like this. So, best you can, scoop your belly in and up. Again, reach your arms. And then from here, lift up, lift, lift, lift. Dig your heels down, straighten your knees. And then, yeah, exactly. So working to bend and straighten your knees here can be nice because when you bend your knees, you lengthen your Achilles tendon, or it's more your calf muscles, especially your soleus. So you have a muscle underneath your calf muscle. The big famous one is your gastrocnemius. The quiet underneath one is your soleus. That's the one that stretches in this position when you bend your knees. All right. It's yes, yes, yes. It's kind of like the quad stretch. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So if you're feeling a big stretch, it shows you, wow, my calves are really tight. It's a good thing to do, release your calves. All right. And out you come, take a break, shake it. Ah, all right. Love it. Okay. Now, last one. Sorry for bad news. We need to come to the side of your mat. Now, if you have um what we want is to have your blanket opened up all the way up. You don't even need much of it. You just need a little bit of it. That's one layer thick. And you need to put that on to the floor beside your mat. Just because the mat is very sticky, anywhere beside your mat. The idea, and you can do it on your mat too. I'll do it on my mat for people at home if you don't have a space where it's like a wood floor. That's okay. You can still do this. The idea is it's harder though because I can't really get a grip on it. But in principle, what we're looking to do is to grab your mat, your blanket with your feet. And what you want to try to do is crumple this blanket towards your heels. Crumple, grab, and crumple. Yeah, can you feel it? If you spread your toes and then scrunch them in, can you crumple the blanket? Then lift and spread and scrunch in. Then lift and spread and scrunch in. Lift and spread and scrunch. My face goes, I this is like common yoga stuff, right? We do this in the yoga world. People get really weird in the yoga world, and this is one of those. We're not picking up marbles or pencils, which is another thing people ask you to do, right? Same idea, right? So, oh, and then release. Anybody feel that in your calves and in your feet? Mostly your toes and your feet. It's super good for building strength in your lower legs. Most of the muscles that control what you do with your feet are actually in here in your calves. And so the little tiny muscles in your feet are working, but otherwise it's a lot of your lower leg muscles. All right, and come on out. So now that we've warmed up your legs and feet, we can do a little standing pose work. So that's the whole reason for that. Is to really get some blood flow into your feet so that now when you try to tune into your feet, you actually have something to tune into. Okay. Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. We'll put your 2 blocks tall at the part of your mat that faces the clock away from the wall. So we're simply standing on our mats with the 2 blocks tall at one end, and we'll be facing those blocks standing at the other end. And we'd want no blanketing on your mat just because we don't want to have any slippery surfaces. Now, for those of you for whom it's not so comfortable to do this kind of a thing with your arms and hands, I like to use a strap. But please feel free if you're like, I don't like straps, you don't need one. You can do this. This would be the work as if you were interlacing or holding a strap, but you don't have to grab, right? You can work. This is more work in your upper back than this or the strap grab is, right? So this is actually using your muscles. The strap is using leverage, which feels great. So both are good. Now, come to the back of your mat where your blocks are way forward in front of you. Okay. Take the interlace or not interlace that works for you behind your back. Step your right foot forward so that you now have your toes maybe an inch or two in front of your blocks and to the right. So your foot is not next to your blocks, but a little bit behind them or in the your blocks are in front of you. Does that make sense? Now, bend and straighten your right knee and watch it over your toes. You want your all 5 toes of your right foot to be straight forward. Yes, exactly. That's it. Bend and straighten. Now, stack your right knee over your ankle, which means you bend it just enough so that your knee joint is right over your ankle. And then pull your chest up, Optionally, pull your strap or reach your arms behind you without your strap and squeeze your belly in and up. Then slowly wiggle, step, scoot your left foot behind you to the point where you can ground your back heel. Now, if you need a little height under your back heel so that your ankle isn't feeling stressed out, you might like, yes. Anybody else need a blanket under your back heel? Yeah. Any color? Okay, good. There you go, Kathleen. Good. Yep, and it'll just go that way. There you go. All right, taking your time, breathing, holding here in your Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Bend your right knee directly over your heel. Draw your belly in and up. Lift your chest, but not your chin. Gaze down your nose. Now pull back with your left leg as if you're stretching the sticky mat, making it longer, and squeeze your left buttock. Lift. Now pull your arms up and back. Now trace your gaze down and forward along the floor, up to the wall in front of you, holding breathing there, or lift your gaze up to the sky. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Press into your right heel. Pull back with your left leg. Pull, 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 reach, 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 sink, sink, sink. And inhale slowly. Come on up. Stay right where you are. Straighten your right leg. We'll do one more with an option for a forward fold. So we bend directly back. Exhaling, pull back with your left leg. Press your right heel. Hug your belly in and up. Tuck your tailbone forward. Pull back with your strap. Maybe bend your elbows. Lift your gaze or gaze at the horizon. Then lean forward from your hips. Breathing, lengthening towards your block. You can always rest your head on your block, rounding your spine, or lengthen out and over. Maybe rest your chin on your block, or maybe tilt your blocks away with your chin and hug your right ribs to your thigh as you bring your wrists up and over the back of your head. This is your humble warrior. Any amount of forward bend, and then to come up, you come out the way you came in. Lift your chest, press your belly button up, squeeze your buttock, left buttock lifting all the way back up in slow motion. Big breath in, then turn to the left to come on out. Nice. All right. Okay. Release. Questions? Comments? Did anybody arms get tired? 100%. If your arms get tired, drop the strap or put it around your neck. You can do the way Laura B was doing, a nice variation here, so you don't have to use the pull of the strap. It's actually even maybe a little more tiring, right? When you lean forward, did anybody find the blocks to be helpful? Not really, right? Yeah, right, exactly. Right. So it's more like a visual focal point and a kind of a balance point in terms of space, not so much structural. Right. All right. So in principle, this humble warrior is where your thigh may afford some contact with your ribs. So you're in your Virabhadrasana 1, you lengthen forward, you hold here, breathe, that's great, don't need to go any further, or round your head, put it on your blocks, or sink down, keep this knee hugging in tightly. It's not a, wah, it's a hug in tightly, and then squeeze, 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 squeeze. That's it, Carol, exactly. That's the alignment, exactly. There you go. That's it, Carol. Yeah. So the block thing is aspirational. It doesn't really necessarily help or even happen, but that's exactly right, Carol. Yes. Gorgeous. Right? So let's try the other side. Really nicely done. So your left leg will be forward this time. Your right leg will be back. Blocks, you can say those blocks were stupid. That wasn't helpful to me. You can take them away, or you can keep them just for, art's sake, decorative vibes, right? Okay. So oh, did you read the thing about Andrew Goldsworthy in the New Yorker talking about the Decortiva and they did a big, big thing they shouldn't have done? They said they had a pile of rocks and a sign that said, make your own Goldsworthy. He was so insulted. Like, really, people? Can you imagine? Ooh, yeah, not good. That they would do that? How gauche, right? I mean, yeah, anyway. True, true, true. Yeah, so you're right. Yeah. But from his point of view, I get it. But from the point of view of understanding, exploring art, you might have a different feeling about it. Yeah. Right. That might have been better. That might have been. All right, let's begin. That sounds, yeah, I would love to do that. We'll get the chai cart and we'll do that. Now, press into your left heel and guide your left knee front and back over your toes. Remember, if you need that height under your back heel to take it. Okay. Now, this already is a lot, right? So, not forcing, not moving your left knee into a sharp pain, a position where you start to feel pain. Decrease the range of motion according to what you need to do. If you can stack your left knee right over your ankle, awesome. If you need it to be further back behind your heel, no problem. Notice if your right leg can straighten a little more. Try to pull back with your right foot, pulling the sticky mat. Then draw your belly in and up, squeeze your right glute and lift your chest. Bring your gaze forward down your nose. Pull back and opening up your chest with your arms moving behind you. Option to pull your strap, option to bend your elbows. Maybe you trace your gaze up and over your head. Maybe not. Breathing into the opening in the front of your body. Try to straighten your right knee more. Try to press your left heel more. Yeah, these are beautiful. Lift, lift, lift. Inhale. And exhale, straighten your left leg. Come out. Option to keep your legs here. Phew, deep breath. And now we go again. Bend your left knee. Pull back with your right leg. Deepen your left heel print. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Use your back muscles to lift your gaze. Then lengthen forward. Fold at your left hip crease. As you reach forward, maybe you let your forehead come to your block. Pull your left hip back, squeeze your left lung against your left leg. Option to lift your left arms up over your head or let your head curl down and forward. In your humble warrior, squeeze your left knee into your ribs. Yes, coming out the way you came in at your pace, breathing, squeezing, lengthening. Beautiful. And slowly straighten your left leg. Nicely done. So the blocks are not structurally sound, but sometimes resting your head on them lightly can help. Not necessarily. Okay, take a break. Beautiful. Great question. Super good question. Your hips will be tilted because you've scissored your back leg back and you can square your shoulders, which I would love it if you squared your shoulders. Your ribs too. Your hip, because of the position of your leg, of necessity will not be square. If you lifted your back heel and swiveled your toes and knee to point straight forward, why then squaring your hips would be awesome. But because your back heel is grounded, there's an external rotation there that means your hips will be rotated. Yeah. So great question because it looks like that. Yes, exactly. Yeah. And certain people like Iyengar, if you look at the pictures of Iyengar doing poses, you're like, well, yeah, your hips should be square. His hips are square, but mere mortals' hips might not be. Yeah. And at a different angle too. Yeah. Thank you. That's a great question. Now take your two blocks and come to the middle of your mat. This time we'll face in towards the computer if you're on Mass Ave side and towards Mass Ave if you're on the partition side and have your two blocks in hand. And you can always drop them if you find that that's just not working for you. We want to be in your mat in the middle, both front to back and side to side. And the blocks are simply to bring some awareness into your arms and hands. It's a little bit different than when you work without the block. Okay. So again, they can go away. Spread your toes, spread your heels. Imagine you had 10 toes sprouting out the backs of your feet to balance out the toes sprouting out the fronts of your feet. So thank God we don't have that. Squeeze your belly in and up, tuck your tailbone down, squeeze your buttock muscles lightly, and lift your chest. And then relax your shoulders down your back. Now step your feet wide. Keep your shoulders stacked over your hips as best you can. Toe heel your feet to the widest possible distance that doesn't feel stressful to your ankles and allows you to have flat, comfortable footprints. Not just on your inner heel and big toes, but on your outer heel and baby toe side of your foot as well. Now rock onto your right heel and pivot your right toes in to turn your right leg in a little bit. Then rock on, or I don't actually rock onto my left heel. I simply just scooch my left toes out 90 degrees. Now bring your blocks in front of you, up to your chest. Squeeze your elbows down and rotate your blocks to the right until your shoulders, your blocks, the crown of your head are all directly balanced in front of your belly button. Yes, turn your hips to the left. Turn your shoulders to the right. So your upper body now is facing the long edge of your mat, but your hips are rotated to the left. Very good, Laura. That's exactly it. Exactly, exactly, Laura W. Now take your right arm out to the right and balance your block over your right foot. You can even look out and see, is your block over your right foot? Now bring your left arm out and bring your block over your left foot. Look to your right, straighten your right knee. Now look to your left and pull your left knee towards your left baby toe. Bend your left knee. Breathe, hold here. Yes, rotate your hips to the left 5 degrees. Laura B, kick your left heel out to the left. Even more. Behind you, behind you, and bend your right knee. Yeah, so you're on the other side, which is no problem. Very good. All right. Now lean out, reach out, bring your blocks to out over your bent leg knee, and then put your elbow on your thigh. Now take your top block and reach it straight up to the sky. If you wish to straighten out your bottom leg arm, push your bottom arm into your inner thigh, bend your bottom knee. So if you're leaning out over your left leg, it's your left leg. If it's your right, it's your right. Open up your blocks and stack them one over the other. Yeah, so your right hand, if your right arm is up, in principle now is directly in line with your left hand. Push your left knee towards your baby toe, lift your chest, lengthen through the crown of your head. Nice, Milton. Yeah, press through your left heel. Beautiful, Michael. Gorgeous, Carol. And then reach your block to the wall. I love it. You can even push your block into the wall. Isn't that fun? You can change the orientation of your block. If you don't get to reach to the wall, you'll get to go there next time. One more big breath and slowly come back out the way you came in. Ha! Nicely done. And then rotate your toes in, heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, toe, heel toe, heel toe, heel. Gorgeous. And out you come, shake out. Nice. Yeah, so that's fun. If you end up in the opportunistic situation where you get to push your block into the wall, it's just so awesome. Sorry for bad news this side, you don't, but you all get that on this side. Now, shake out. So the thing about these wide-legged poses, these warrior two and extended side angles, is that your back foot, whether you're going right or left, doesn't matter. Your back leg is where your heel is further out than your toes, and your front leg is your knee over your toe. Yeah, so that's the turn in of your back leg, the really the alignment of your front knee directly down the line of your mat. So let's take that on the second side. We'll meet in a rather informal way with your legs wide. We'll rock onto your left heel, turn your left toes in. If you're on the other side, that's no problem. We're just got two sides, so we're good to go. Bend into your front knee, stack your front knee over your ankle. Look back and see, do you need some height under your back heel? Anybody need height under their back heel? Happy to come on over with a block. Okay, or with a mat. Now, take your left arm or your back arm and bring your block over your back foot. Turn your belly button the other way. So your arm reaches out over your back foot. Turn your belly button towards your front knee and move your front knee towards your baby toe. Then bring, without even looking at it, bring your front arm to over your front foot. Yes. Now look right or look left. Yeah, press into your front heel. Grow really tall. Look over your back arm again. Yes, look over your front arm again. Now push out, reach out, bend at your hip crease, lean, 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 lean over your front knee, and then cut your forearm to your thigh and send your block up to the sky. And if you wish to straighten out your bottom arm, you can push it into your inner thigh, but also push your thigh into your arm to give you leverage with which to open up your chest. Some people like to look up. I find that to be somewhat overrated. And then you can reach your top block, maybe even press it into the wall if you're lucky enough to have a wall that you can press into. You can turn your block and have it at a different angle if that allows you to press the wall. Nicely done. Breathe, hold here. Long line, your whole top side of your body is one long straight line. Big breath in, breathing, taking sips of air. Press into your bottom leg, heel, bend knee, heel presses down, down, down. Bring your belly in and up. And then inhale to come all the way back up and toe heel back to center and take away your blocks. Really good. That was awesome. Oh, yeah, let's turn down the heel. We open up the door. Yep. We'll make adjustments because now we're standing. in the heat cloud and it's hot. And of course, the heat always kicks on the minute we're already heating up. All right, really, really great. That was awesome. So I'd like to do reverse warrior. Reverse warrior is not in the Iyengar canon. I'm not sure why, because it's a really fun pose. However, so I'll just show you real quick. Reverse warrior looks like this. Which side should I do? I'll do this side. Same everything. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Arms out to the side. Turn your palm up. Let that arm reach. So it's not a, it's a, okay. Reach, bend, breathe. Here, you stay. Yeah. Or reach up any amount up, 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 up with your fingertips. Your whole right side body takes the elevator up, including your ribs, and you deepen your knee bend. And then any amount contract your left side body to go up, to go back. Up, 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 up. I often look into my armpit and I often will cheat and grab my own leg and use that as leverage to peel open this right side. And then we come back up to warrior two and we do the whole thing on the other side. Okay. So awesome question. Never. In my class, I will never ask you to do a separate leg side bending pose, warrior two, triangle, half moon. I never will ask you to do this. I can really truly say I will never do that because when you open up your hips, look what happens to my knee. Yeah. So especially for me, I have super sensitive knee and hip joints. So if I do this, I'm tweaking my knee, my ankle, and my hip. So if I allow my hips to swivel, doesn't need to be a large amount, that allows me to bring my knee right over the middle of my toes or even more towards the baby toe. If I require myself to bring this hip back, I can force it, I can finagle it back, but if I ask everybody to do that all the time, I end up with everybody in the room doing this. Yeah. So you can use your deep rotators to squeeze and lengthen space sideways in that hip, but it's not because I'm doing this. It's actually deep intrinsic muscles here that are squeezing and rotating my thigh bone, not moving my pelvis. Yes, 100%. Yes. Yeah. Warrior one, warrior two, warrior three. Warrior three is an oddball, right? This is not a twist. Reverse warrior, definitely. Any warrior two related position, triangle related position, your hips are rotated slightly towards your front leg, and your upper body most often is de-rotated. So your upper body, instead of being where your hips are, is actually rotated back open. So yes, yeah, yes, and yes. Great, awesome. I love that question because that's one of those ones that people get super didactic about. Teachers say, you have to do blah, blah, blah. And so I am actually saying that. All right, let's bring your feet nice and wide. That's one of those super didactic things for me. And another teacher might be like, no, that's wrong. And so it's like yes and yes, right? All right. So pivot onto your right heel, turn your right toes in, swivel your left toes out, and sink into your warrior two. If you put your hands on your hips, you can kind of feel if you turn your pelvis from left to right, you may notice that your top of your right thigh moves towards your right baby toes, the top of your left knee moves towards your left baby toe. So that is the swivel we're talking about. Keep your swivel of your hips slightly rotated left, guide your left knee towards your left baby toe. Yes. Straighten out your left leg, spread all 10 toes and dig in with your left heel. Now bring your arms straight out to the sides, right and left. Now, just to Laura W's point, as you press into your left heel, keep your hips rotated left, but now de-rotate your upper body, meaning look right and parallel your shoulders and your ribs to the long edge of your mat, but keep your belly button turning left. Now turn your left palm up, reach your right fingertips down, your right leg, and then send your left arm high. You might stay here. Maybe you look into your armpit because that might feel better on your neck. Press into your left heel to deepen your left knee bend, and then lift up, 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 straight up, and any amount contract the right side of your waist. You do not need to do this contraction if it doesn't feel good. Keep going straight up. The deeper you keep your left knee bending, the more you lift your left ribs up out of your hip. You might grab the back of your thigh and pull up and back. That allows me a little more leverage with which to bend. Inhale here, and then slowly come on. Straighten your left leg. Toe heel, toe heel, toe heel. Yeah. So what I'm doing with my back hand there when I did that warrior, reverse warrior, first I said reach it down, lift up. That's more work because I'm not doing a bind. I'm not using leverage. But if I grab on to my own leg and pull up, I'm kind of rotating it in a little bit and I'm grabbing with my arm. That allows me to leverage this back bend, well, by contracting and engaging here with a bind. It's different than contracting and engaging without a bind. It's easier to bind. So I cheat and I do a bind when I'm getting tired. It also can allow you just a little bit greater range of motion because with the bind, you do have more leverage with which to flex your spine. So that's why I grab that back leg, but you don't need to. Okay. All right. Toe heel in. Oh boy. Okay. One more thing balancing. We didn't do the other side? Oh, awesome. Let's do the other side. Sure, lift the ribs, lift your ribs. Absolutely. And so that's why the instruction is to deepen your knee bend and lift your ribs up. This arm secondary. Absolutely, Michael, right? Yeah. So if it feels bad in your shoulder, this shoulder can be nice and soft. I do like to spin my pinkies in, turn my palm to face the wall behind me. That changes the upper arm bone orientation. But yes, thank you, Michael. Lifting up out of your hips is not really necessarily from your arm, though you can add it, right? But it's the feeling of pulling your ribs up, up, up out of your pelvis that sends you up and back. So let's go to the second side. I believe we're bending our left knee and finding your warrior two with your left knee bent, your right leg straight, or is it the other way around? Okay, whichever side you are on, do the other side. Spin your belly button to your front leg. Bring your front bent knee towards your baby toe. Stand up really tall. Keep your hips rotated to your front knee. Open up your chest to the long edge of your mat. Take your back arm down, reach it, or grab the inside of your back thigh. Turn your front arm up and keep your elbows soft, your shoulder down if you need to. If it feels comfortable to reach your right arm, you can even shrug that shoulder a little bit, but tuck your chin. And then lift up, 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 up as you sink into your bent leg heel. Breathing. Draw your ribs up, up, up. Keep your belly button in and up. That's it, Shelly. Yes, that's it. Option to gaze down at your own armpit or up at your hand. Laura B, beautiful. There you go, Kathleen. Inhale, grow taller. Nicely in. That's it, Cecile. Excellent, Michael. There you go, Carol. Good, Milton. And slowly come all the way back up and out. Really nicely done. Toe heel, toe heel, toe heel. And out you come. Okay, good. Shake, shake, shake. Whew, it's a lot on the shoulder, huh? If you feel it in the shoulder, then the invitation is to do a soft, gentle. So, as Michael intimated, it's really from your ribs. Your arms are kind of floating in softly, like clouds hanging, instead of exactly. If your shoulder's comfortable, you can add the arm, but that's secondary to the lift of your trunk. There's this thing called axial extension. So the seven movements of the spine, and one of them is super weird. You're like, what do you mean axial extension? It's where you lift up and pull your crown of your head to the sky. And that's the same thing we're doing here, right? My arm could be here. Contract, lift, contract, lift. So don't need the arm at all. Okay. All right, come on out. Now, since we talked about Warrior 3, but it's a different version of Warrior 3, which allows you, if you wish, to use your blocks. You might say, I don't want to use my blocks. No problem. I'm not going to take that personally. We'll talk about it after class, though. Yes. um, much as we did in our humble warrior, you'll step forward with your right foot. Now, what I love about Warrior Three is that you don't need to lift your back leg, but I am going to suggest, if it works for you, to swivel onto the ball of your back foot so that now, to Laura B's question, your hips will be square instead of having your back heel down where your hips would be open to the left. Right leg forward, left leg back. And now slowly wiggle, wiggle, squiggle your left foot back any amount, but not so far that you feel like you're really grossly unstable. And then slowly straighten and bend both knees, standing up really tall, let your blocks fall. You can always toe heel your right foot a little further to the right to create a wider base from left to right, widening your railroad tracks. Okay, if you'd rather have them a little closer, you can also wiggle your feet in. Now, keep your right knee bent, but not hugely. Draw your belly in and up and start to shift your weight forward while straightening your back leg. Bring your arms behind you, squeeze your shoulder blades together, breathe and hold here. Now, if you wish, drag your left toes forward and create a less wide stance. Same exact action. Squeeze your shoulder blades, belly in and up, tuck your tailbone. And if you wish, tuck your toes up. That's it. No need to lift your leg. And then put your toes back down. And then flex your toes up to your knee and put your toes back down. If you wish to kick your leg higher and let your upper body tilt a little bit, your upper body tries to stay lifted. You kick, 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 kick through your left leg, reach your arms back and up, big breathing. And then slowly come on down. Yeah. Nice. Very good. Take a break, shake. Completely bent straight. Correct. For your right knee, your front leg can be as bent as you want it to be, but it need not be bent at all. Ideally, you're not locking and jamming your knee backwards. That's the only injunction. And then let's do the other side. You can face the same way, or you can turn to face the wall, especially if you're mad at me. Bend your left knee, wiggle your right foot back. Now, this is the one where at first you simply rock front to back a little bit and then bend and straighten both knees. So you find a position for your legs front to back that feels appropriate, side to side that feels appropriate. Breathing, you straighten and bend both knees within a range of motion that works for you. And then straighten your back legs, start to lean forward, bring your arms behind you, squeeze your shoulder blades, scoop your belly in and up, and drag your right foot just a little further up. Oh, it's so much easier. That's why we do it that way. Then flex your toes and balance just a teeny bit off the mat, toes back down. Arms can go forward or back, squeeze your shoulder blades. And if finally you wish to kick your right leg higher, kick, 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 kick. Lift your chest, gaze down your nose. Breathing, holdings, pivot your right toes and knees straight down. Yes. Nice. That's it, Shelley. Good. That's it, Laura B. Very good. Nice, Laura W. Yes. And now you come. Oh, yeah. Take a break, shake. It's a lot of work, right? You feel that in your front leg a lot. Nice, Michael. A little more internal rotation of your right. That's all you needed. Yes. Yes. All right. Very good. Let's come on down to our mats. Okay. Now, I'd love to do a very gentle version of pigeon. If you know already that any version of pigeon is not in your practice, I invite you to take figure 4, which is lying on the floor with your one ankle crossed over your other. If you'd like, you can even come to the wall and do a figure 4 like this, where you choose the distance from your hips from the wall according to how it feels in your hip as you stack your ankle over your thigh. And then you can always scooch in closer and breathe and hold. The idea is to try to square your hips, square your shoulders, and not allow your pelvis to tilt either right or left. If you're interested in the pigeon, what I do is I keep this blanket down on the mat. I put my bolster on the mat too. I didn't do a very good job with my blanketing. I'm just going to go ahead and put another one here. It's not a super technical blanket situation, but what I do for pigeon here is this. I first sit up on my bolster, and I have my front leg bent, roughly 90 degrees, and my back leg comfortably bent. And then I simply shift so that I can put my right knee on the blanket, my right foot on the blanket. I can use my blocks even to put an elbow, and I lean out over my front leg. So I'll turn to the side so you can see what that looks like. It's a double bent knee position with my hips up on a bolster. Your back leg can even be on the bolster as well or behind it. And I gently twist over my front leg and then I can lean forward. Eventually, you might find that you can bring your knee and your foot of your front leg down and drape over that leg. You can also kick your back leg long here in your pigeon. Yeah. But the goal is no, you're correct. You're actually doing it perfectly. Yeah. But bring your foot forward, Shelley, so your right foot will be off of the bolster. So your foot and your knee will be on the blanket. There you go. Yeah, all the way down. Voila. Yes, that's it, Laura. And you might move your left knee to the left just a little bit, Laura W. Just a teeny bit. Yep, that's all you needed. Yeah. And any amount lean into. Anybody feel a stretch in your front leg hip? Okay. Does the bolster seem to help or is it kind of meh? Meh. Okay, for some it's meh, for others it might help. What I like about the bolster is that it creates less pressure in your hip joints and in your knee joints when you're doing a pigeon. So take your time, breathe into your favorite version of pigeon. You can always get rid of the bolster if you realize, hey, it's kind of hindering me more than helping. Nice, Lynn. Really big breath in. Ah, really big breath out. And then super gently and slowly to come on out, I like to roll to the side. So wherever my front leg is, I simply roll onto that leg, swing my back leg around, and swivel to put my other leg in front of the bolster. So your knee and your foot are on the blanket, and your hips and your upper body are up on the bolster. And of course, you can orient in many different ways. For some, it's nice to lean out over your front leg, the one that's down. And for others, it feels better instead to prop yourself up on blocks. There you go, Laura. Yes, correct. Yep. And then you would sweep your left leg behind you. Correct. Yep, you got it. No knee pain is the rule. So the reason we're using the bolster is to make sure that we're not putting undue pressure in your joints, including your knee, your hip. If it's not feeling stretchy enough for you, you can stretch out your back leg and kick it long and draw your front leg hip a little backwards, a little deeper. Yeah, there you go. Shall you feel that? Yeah. Yeah. So then I would do figure four. Yep. You can do pigeon without the bolster, or you can do figure four. Those are probably both going to be options that feel more stretchy to you. Sometimes the bolster just makes it too wimpy for some people. For me, it actually makes it possible, especially on my left side these days. Remember that thing called breathing? When you feel like you've stretched this side, I think we have a few more minutes here, a few moments, because I don't want to short shrift this side. When you're done, what we'll do is meet you in a version of Happy Baby where I'd invite you, should you choose it, is to put your hips up on your bolster and grab your strap. So eventually we'll meet here. Viparita Karani, legs up the wall. Option for the blanket under your pelvis. Please feel free not to put it there if you prefer just to have your back flat. And then, if it's workable to face the strap around the soles of your feet, we're using a straight strap rather than a loop here. I start with my feet and legs together in the loop. And then, with bent knees, I draw my knees towards my chest so that my feet are really over my chest or even my nose. And from that angle, your knees might need to bend in order to have your feet quite that high up towards your head. From that bent knee position, I'll push out sideways with my feet on my strap, then gently pull downwards with my hands on the strap. You can even wrap the strap around your fleshy parts of your palms. And as you push up into your strap, pretty energetically, your knees bend down to the sides of the mat beside your shoulders and ribs. And you pull down in equal measure to the push up that you have. Yeah. So it's lengthening your spine with the leverage you generated by pushing up with your feet into your strap, pulling down into your strap with your hands. For some, it's actually nice to stretch out one or both legs here, taking a wide-legged supine, upavishta, konasana, wide-legged forward fold, but this one is lying on your back. So you can go from happy baby to one leg straight or both legs straight. I often like to make a circle in Happy Baby. So not just going side to side, but I kind of like to make a circle with my hips and legs. Massaging out your back here as you wish. Yeah, it's kind of fun. I don't get out much, as you know. And then go the other way. Yeah, there you go. Knees can be as bent as they need to be, especially happy babyers. This is a bent knee thing. But you can do it with straighter legs too. Nothing wrong with that. All right, and then one long stretch for your hip flexors. What I like to do is slowly bend my knees, bring my knees into my chest. Okay, and then keep your hips up on the bolster. You might even need to add a little height, but first, hug the back of your right thigh with your interlaced hands, kick your left leg long. And this is another one of those body parts that can do with more than once a day stretching. The front of your left hip now lengthens over the bolster as you ground your left heel and gently hug your right knee up towards your right armpit. The straighter you make your left leg, the more you may feel a stretch in the front of your left hip. And I always love to circle my ankles because why not? Add that if you wish. You can also gently add a soft turning of your head to bring back your attention to your neck and your jaw. Don't worry so much about alignment here as a felt sense of stretch in the front of your left hip. Does anybody feel it? All right, you can always build up and put a little more height underneath your sacrum if you need to. Some people need more height in order to affect a real stretch. Now, slowly move your right knee any amount to the right. You can even put your left palm on the top of your left hip as you open up your right knee rightward and then back to the center. And one more time, pull your right knee open wide as you still reach out through your left leg and slowly back to the center. Really slowly. Use your hand to help you bring your left leg in. I like to grab the back of my thigh to bring it in. And then tuck your left knee into your chest and kick your right leg long. And now it's your right heel that's grounding and reaching. You might feel your pelvis tilting over your bolster. It's okay to do that. You can tilt your pelvis forward and back, but to stretch your right hip flexors, the muscles in the front of your right hip, which are usually pretty short and locked from all our sitting, to stretch your hip flexors, I would encourage you to rotate your tailbone to the sky, but keep your right heel reaching, grounding way down at the foot of your mat. So that's that posterior pelvic tilt coupled with the lengthening in your leg that lengthens through the front of your right hip. Take a big belly breath in and let it go. If it worked for you on the other side, you might like to try this on this side, which can be subtle or not so subtle. Bringing your left knee out to the left as you push down with your right hand sometimes creates a different stretch. Then slowly fold your left knee back up over your hip and then back out to the left. So it's a slow swinging of the gait of your left leg sideways and down and back up to neutral as you push down with your baby elephant foot on your own frontal hip point there, really the top of your right thigh. Take a big belly breath wherever you are. Maybe you circle your ankles again. Maybe you even turn your chin softly. Of course, not if you're dealing with any kind of dizziness. Take a big breath and then slowly, gently curl back up like a little sea anemone going, squeezing in. And then we'll move into your Shavasana. Please feel free. Some people will go right into Viparita Karani and stay here, legs up the wall, without the wall. You might have another stretch that works for you. Any chosen pose for your deep relaxation, as long as it's one you really like, you're comfortable with, you feel ease, can let it go, soften everything, and just float on your breath. If you're feeling chilly, raise your hand. I'll bring a blanket for you. Sometimes we need another blanket. Take your time to soak in to the floor below you. Taking your time to settle in, to settle down. This is your chance to let things be. You don't have to do anything else except what calls to you. Yeah. So softening, breathing, letting go. And now, very gently, begin to deepen your breathing. You can certainly choose to ignore all this hullabaloo and stay right where you are, or make any gentle movements that feel organic and easy and obvious to you. As you roll to your side, perhaps stay there for a few beats and find your way to your favorite seated position. And always stay resting right where you are. If you do choose to sit, I invite you to bring your palms together in front of your heart. Let your shoulders soften away from your ears. And a little bit tuck your chin to lengthen the back of your neck. And in your seated position, allow your breath to flow, fill you up, and empty out. Another big filling, lengthening, expanding breath. And relaxing, let something go. One more time, a big breath in. And exhale, let it go. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you for coming. So good to see you. You made it through the snow. You made it through the Zoom portal, none of which are without complication. Friday, I will be teaching in Florida, and Milton has agreed to project a video of me, a pre-recorded video of me up on the wall. If you'd like to practice here with your props, with your friends, please feel free to come. Same time, same everything. Online, however, I would suggest if anyone wants to practice with me online on Friday, instead of having to go through the portal and do all of that, if you send me an email, I will send you a link and you can watch a video just like that. It's otherwise a little complicated to figure out how to get the online video to work with a pre-recorded one. It's not what we normally do at the Arlington Center. So please send me an email if you'd like me to send you a link. I'd be more than happy to, because it's going to be a pre-recorded video anyway. So I might as well just send it to you, and that might be better in this case. Sure, yeah. And if you want this class, I can put it, I can send you the link to this class. 100%, absolutely. So send me an email, any class you want that I've recorded. If I have hit record, I will send it to you. Sometimes I forget to hit record, which is frustrating. However, today I did not forget to hit record.